Today's episode is brought to you by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Emma Stein with today's Free Press Voice Briefing. It's Friday, September 30th, 2022.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. How many of the world's lakes have blue water as opposed to green, brown, or some other color? What does a lake's color say about its health, and what causes lake color to change? Scientists know a lot less about this than you might think. In a new study, researchers have sought to answer the first, most fundamental question: what colors are the world's lakes? Using more than 5 million satellite images taken over a recent 7-year period, the researchers evaluated the predominant lake color for just over 85,000 lakes globally, a small but representative sample of the more than 100 million lakes that exist on planet Earth. They found that blue water lakes only make up about 30% of lakes globally, most often occurring in higher elevation places with cooler summers, and winters where the lakes ice over, possibly because the cold slows down the growth of microscopic aquatic plants and other chemical and biological processes. Michigan is in the zone where blue water lakes are prevalent, including the Great Lakes. But surprisingly, green and brown water lakes are more common even here, a sign that local conditions also play a role in water color. The researchers found that summer mean temperatures above 66 degrees caused a steep decline in blue water lakes, so they project that a warming climate might threaten up to 14% of the world's lakes of that type. It has implications for how simple it is to use the water for drinking and other purposes, and for how fish and other aquatic species live. The researchers hope to next look at satellite images over decades to learn more about where and how lake colors are changing. It could become an early sign of changing water quality and a need to intervene at particular lakes.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kristen Seamus with a story about health inequities in Michigan's monkeypox outbreak. New state data released this week shows that 60% of people who have gotten monkeypox in Michigan so far are Black. Yet Black residents have gotten just 17% of the doses of the vaccine that can prevent infections or limit symptoms after exposure. By comparison, white Michiganders have had 34% of the state's monkeypox infections, but have gotten 70% of the vaccine doses. State and federal leaders say they are working to address the problem and have launched a pilot program to deliver vaccines to places where people who have barriers to health care and who are at high risk for monkeypox infections are more likely to be. Because the vast majority of cases are in men, and prevalence is especially high among men who have sex with men, they are bringing vaccines to pride events, gay bars, and ballroom events. Yet this kind of outreach can be expensive and time-consuming, and that is why the National Coalition of STI Directors called on Congress this week to expand federal funding to support the effort to stop the spread of the virus.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, looking ahead to another big football weekend around these parts. However, we begin with a pair of road games on Saturday. First at noon, it's Michigan and Iowa in a rematch of last year's Big Ten championship game. The Wolverines are ranked 4th in the nation, but this is their first road game of 2022. And they enter perhaps the toughest place to play in the Midwest. Iowa has a strong reputation of beating top 5 teams at home over the last decade or so, including Michigan back in 2016. Later Saturday afternoon, Michigan State is looking to end their 2-game slide, but have a tough task at Maryland, one of the top passing offenses in the nation. But the Terrapins could be without quarterback Talia Tagovailoa. Then on Sunday, the Detroit Lions will try to even their record at 2-2 as they host the Seahawks at Ford Field. And there are several question marks over the availability of a few Detroit Lions, including running back DeAndre Swift and wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. I'll see you tomorrow.